when you get buy-in from your prospect, I was about to say partner, but when you get buy-in, when they're starting to ask you to define your differences, to better understand your benefits, you're not transitioning, you're just continuing to develop that relationship. And what you're looking to do at that stage is, this is part of discovery and this is part of qualification as well, is extend your reach within the business. So what we know today is, for let's use the Commonwealth Bank as an example. The Commonwealth Bank, the person in the Commonwealth Bank doesn't need executive approval to buy a box of photocopied paper. But if the Commonwealth Bank are considering changing their desktop computer or technology basis, that requires the input of more than one person. That's a committee. That's a buying committee. So if we're selling a box of paper, you don't need to bother about the expansion, right? You don't need to extend your relationships with the organisation. It's transactional, okay? But if what you're selling, if what you're doing is transformational change, whether it be digital transformation, technology transformation, business process transformation, that involves a number of people from a number of different divisions in the organisation, disciplines in the organisations, levels of seniority in organisations. So you need to be able to traverse, to understand, to meet, to be introduced to expand your relationships within the organisation across every level. You need buy-in. There'll be a buy-in committee. You'll need an executive sponsor. Is that the person that you started the conversation with, or is that the person that you're introduced to? You will need to ensure in 2023, and it has been since at least 2021, the most important person in an organisation isn't the CEO. It's the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. They sign off everything. If you are looking for $1 million deal and you haven't met the Chief Financial Officer, good luck. If the CFO doesn't know that you exist, you're not going anywhere. If the person that you're working with doesn't have gravitas at that level, cannot take you and introduce you to senior management and organisation, you're dealing at too low a level in the organisation. So that first call, you need to have set an agenda, set expectation with your target, and they should know that a bugbear I have, people talk about BANT, qualify them as early as possible. BANT qualify. Budget authority need timing. Me? Don't be rude. Don't talk to me about, do you have the budget? Who apart from yourself will make the final decision? Have you already got one? When will you be able to give me an order? I mean, that's pretty blunt and pretty low level, but that's really what we're doing. It's really what we're expecting our salespeople to do. If you as a founder are saying, BANT, qualify them early, we need to know. No, you don't. You need to be skilled. You need people that are skilled in understanding they have a problem and they need to fix it. And you need to know that before you call, right? Then we get the call. Then we need to start with the person. How do I help you? Who else apart from you ultimately? Who do we need to meet? Who is going to introduce the business case to the board? What needs to happen? I like to work from the back, from the end, and work forwards or work backwards. So, okay, we've got the order. We've got the contract signed. What needs to happen before that? Well, it needs to go to the board. Okay, what needs to happen before it goes to the board? Well, we need to have a business case approved. Okay, what needs to happen before we have a business case approved? We need to develop a business case. So hang on, stop. What needs to happen before the business case is approved? Oh, it needs to be signed off by department heads. It needs to be presented. Who's going to present it to the board? Or the executive sponsor. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. There's a lot of actions that need to happen before I get my $1 million deal, as opposed to my box of paper. So we need a structured approach. We need a methodological approach to not only create pipeline, create opportunity pipeline, to understand how we approach the market and how we deal with buyers. Or people, buyer personas. We need to understand what happens after that. What do I do next? Well, I discover. I get to know the organisation. I get to know more people in the organisation. I get to implicate the problem and establish the need payoff at every step of the way. I build a network, remembering that a political structure exists on top of the company structure. And the political structure is much more powerful. It's much more pervasive, has secret agents everywhere, it has double agents everywhere. It's espionage, it really is. And unless you understand the political structure, your chances of success are pretty low. You're going to be beaten by a competitor that does understand the political structure in the organisation. Just because your executive sponsor thinks it's a good idea doesn't mean that everybody thinks it's a good idea. And I can assure you there'll be people in there fighting or working against the person who thinks it's a good idea because it doesn't suit their own agenda.